I understand what I have to do. I'm sorry.
I am free.
Wow, just as I was getting ready to record this video, Kalpesh commented, typical weekend breakout, you can't trust these. Guys, at this very moment on the weekly chart, the entire cryptocurrency market cap of every single cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin, is right now facing the 100-week moving average. Now that's a very key level. If it can break, there's some evidence we could go up to $240 billion in the entire cryptocurrency market cap. And we'll show you exactly what price that would be for Bitcoin's price itself. And as well, guys, is this a weekend trap? Just like we mentioned at the beginning, Bitcoin price hits the 7.3 in an attempt to break out, guys, but is this a fake out? If you guys watch this channel, you know I'm not a huge fan at all of weekend breakouts. In fact, I prefer weekend dumps much more than weekend pumps. So we'll take a look at this lengthy article on Cointelegraph. Really important stuff, very crucial. As we go into the halving, guys, we are much less than a month away from the Bitcoin halving. So what can we expect to happen? Could things really kick off within the next week, in anticipation of the halving? And is this really a sell the news type thing? I'll tell you why I think the halving is much different than a normal piece of news that might pump the price or dump the price. And as well, I definitely don't think Bitcoin will just sit at this specific level over the weekend. I think there is a target up to the upside that we could achieve, or a target to the downside. But again, I really would prefer if we didn't continue up during the weekend. And as well, still no significant volume. Let's dive in. Wow, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting Saturday update. Bitcoin is doing what it does, very much so on Saturdays seems to be the case. I'm not sure why, but we really need to be cautious here, okay? Even if we do continue up or if we continue down, weekends are not the preferred times to have price action. So we really have to dive into that in this video today, guys. And as well, so if you guys like memes, make sure to head over to Twitter and check out some of those memes. And as well, guys, we are going to pick a winner for this bad boy at the end of this episode. And as well, if you want to enter for these guys, make sure to leave a comment below, hit that like, hit that ding, hit the comments. We're going to be picking out of like the last 6 videos for this, but by the time you're watching this, it's already too late to comment, because at the end of the video, the winner will be picked. So guys, is this a weekend trap? Let's start by delving into the TA here. We can start off here with the volume on the daily chart, guys. The volume is still declining. This was the mass amount of volume when we had the big drop down to the $3,000 range at the beginning, the first 2 weeks of March. And the volume has just been continuously dropping. We have not seen significant volume. If we are going to see a breakout, we're going to see an increase in volume. And so far we haven't seen it. Doesn't mean this weekend we're not going to get a breakout. It's still possible, but one of the things we want to look for is some weekend volume there. So if we switch here real quick, you can see on the 4-hour chart, this is really important. We actually were hugging this ascending line perfectly since April 16th. You can see every 4-hour candle was basically just, going slightly more up and up and up. And then again, we got a bounce right here, kind of to the middle of this. And this is not really a true breakout, in my opinion. 7.3. This whole area right above 7,000 is not really concrete. We haven't even broken the highs back from just a few weeks ago right here, guys, right around the 7455, 7400, 7500. And you see we're currently getting a rejection here. This fake out, it's possible this could be a big fake out, but we really just want to keep an eye on it. Now, if we switch to the entire cryptocurrency market cap, I think this is important here. So if we zoom in, you can see this blue line is the 100-week moving average right here. So currently we're actually getting, that's where we're actually bouncing off of right now. So if you look at this chart and you think, well, why are we bouncing? This is what I would say is the answer right here, the 100-week moving average right here. We touched that and we got a little bit of a rejection. We've touched it actually before, just a few weeks ago as well, and we got rejected off there as well. So I think this is really important to watch. And if we get a break above that, then there is some evidence that we'll get into later on in the video that we could actually go up to 240 billion, which for Bitcoin's price, okay, this could be a pretty big burst if that would happen. For Bitcoin's price is actually roughly around like the $9,200 level. So that's what that's saying for a breakout target if in the entire cryptocurrency market cap, we get a nice pump above this level. And this is what it would look like, this orange line basically. It would look like somewhat of a pump like that. Now going into the halving, that would actually be pretty exciting if that did happen. But currently right now, if we zoom into this chart, you can see we're still currently bouncing right on this line here, which is also right on the 50-day moving average. And I'll actually switch to a different chart so you can see a little better. Here's the 50-day moving average, the purple line. You can see we broke above it 2 days ago, held it for a day, and now currently it looks like it's trying to bounce above there. But again, I would be suspicious of that, and I would honestly prefer if we actually just saw more sideways action for the next 2 days. Get out of the weekend, not have to worry about any pesky gaps, and really just do a lot of significant price action on the week. Another thing, I think we're still completely in a gray area. Bitcoin has not really made a significant decision one way or the other. So I think a lot of people are pretty much just waiting right now because there's been no confirmation of a break up or no confirmation of a breakdown just yet. We're still just trading within this upward channel. Okay, we're still, this is the middle of the channel, so we're still completely in the middle of this channel here. This is potentially the only confirmation we might have right now, but again, it's very weak. We're not getting any breakout volume for this yet. So maybe we could see that in a day or two if the volume continues, but right now we're not really seeing anything that confirms that too much. The biggest thing for sure is the 50-day moving average getting above that, but we'll have to see if that actually does hold. So remember, we had this 50 and 21 kind of closing in, and eventually we did get the break, so it actually chose to the upside. But again, be aware that this could be a fake out, especially on the weekends. I wouldn't trust it necessarily. And really importantly here on the weekly as well, guys, remember the 100-week moving average is right here. This is for Bitcoin, so we're above the 100-week moving average for Bitcoin, but if for the entire cryptocurrency market cap, we're below its 100-week moving average. So you can see here, blue line, still below it. We got rejected off it for every cryptocurrency combined, but for Bitcoin specifically, we're slightly above it. So maybe that's a good sign. Maybe Bitcoin's indicating for us the market what it wants to do. But for right now, I want to switch over to this article published on Cointelegraph. So this is about a weekend trap about the 7.3 pump. So I want to start here. The weekly chart of Bitcoin is showing 5 consecutive green candles in the past few weeks. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, showing strength as the majority of losses on March 12th, or what is deemed Black Thursday, have now been recuperated there. But is it sustainable? Okay, the chart is showing something different. First of all, crucial break above the 100-week moving average is important there for Bitcoin. Next to that, the previous support of the price was found between 69 and 7,300, which still is basically, Bitcoin is still basically trading in between there. So when I say we're still in kind of a gray area, anywhere between that 68 and 74 is really just not really a main decision in terms of which way the price wants to go. We haven't had a true breakout. And again, you can see that with the volume. The volume's done nothing impressive, but it is important to note that the Black Thursday crash back on March 12th made Bitcoin drop below the 100-week moving average for the very first time since the very beginning of 2018. Now we can actually show you that here. The very end of 2018, you can see that here back in November, the blue line, it fell below that. And then again, we were above it basically the entire time except for this crash. We did go below it a little bit back in November of 2019, but we very quickly found support and kind of just rallied up from there. This is the first major break and the longest we've been below this definitely since 2018. And remember, in 2018, when we were below the 100-week moving average, we ended up absolutely moonshotting back above it, going absolutely crazy there. You can see from here just going straight back above it, so propelling itself. Maybe we'll see something similar. Maybe we'll see some sort of build up, but again, that has yet to be seen. Now, here in the article, it says next to that, the previous support was found between that 69 to 73, but combined with the 100-week moving average, an apparent breakthrough would indicate further upwards perspectives, potentially leading towards 10,000. I still think 8,000 and 9,000 are pretty significant resistance, so I'm not exactly sure why 10,000 is the perfect target there. The recent run-up is losing momentum as the volume is dropping and showing exhaustion, the article says. Not a strong signal, as one would preferably want to see an increase resulting in a breakout. So yeah, I agree with that for sure, that volume is dropping and we'd want to show volume increase at a potential breakout. So again, I still don't think we've seen this breakout. It's important to note that if you've been following along, whether people think it's a bear flag, whether people think it's an ascending triangle, whatever it is, we still have not actually had a breakout. Pretty much everything has been confirmed as not true so far, okay? So far we have not had a breakout, so everything people have been talking about, including myself for the past few weeks, none of it's happened yet. We still have not had a breakout to the upside or a downside. So we haven't had a big move one way or the other, up to the upside or to the downside. An example of the breakout we're looking for here is exactly what happened in April of 2019, which would be this. So we can zoom back here and we can go to April of 2019. This is kind of an example of what we're looking for here. So when we go from 4,000 to like 5,300, this is exactly what we mean by a breakout. Okay, we smash a really important moving average, the 21 weekly moving average, which we haven't done yet. For us, it would be around 7,800, maybe even 7,900. So this would be a very good confirmation of a breakout if something like this would happen. So let me actually show you on this chart. So just because we're above this right now, this is not a breakout. This is important here, and we might be able to find support and bounce here, but it's not a breakout. This is exactly what a breakout would look like, okay? If we even had a small move like that. It seems small, but that's about $1,000. That would be a very important move. And what it would look like on this chart, we'd see a nice increase in volume here on the weekly, similar to the size of this red candle here. Now that would be a really important move, and that could confirm that we're actually moving up. But I wouldn't trade on moving up until we actually see a confirmed breakout like that. So guys, let's pick out of the last 6 videos. Let's generate. So we're gonna actually go to video number 2. Okay, so 1, 2, we'll pick this one, copy the URL. All right, we'll put in the URL here, get YouTube comments, 210 comments, and then we can pick the winner here. Winner I'd rather not see any further downward movement. I'll keep buying, but I'm ready for the pump to 13K, then retrace, then slow grind. Wow, congrats for winning. Make sure to DM me. Is that your Twitter thing? I will look you up on Twitter as well. But thanks so much for commenting. It says here the daily time frame is fighting the yearly open. So currently on the daily, we're actually fighting where Bitcoin opened back at the beginning of 2020. I can show you that here. This is where it opened, right about here, 7,300, and that's currently basically where we're at right now. So we're currently basically right back to the beginning of 2020. Now we have to pick a move. We went up at the beginning. Second part of the year so far, just completely down. So Bitcoin is still picking a side there. An apparent breakthrough in this resistance area can put Bitcoin back to about the 78, which would be perfect. We're looking for that break up, and that could potentially smash a 21 weekly there. It says here as well, this is the last point I want to emphasize, worth keeping in mind is the halving is 3 weeks away. Usually these events trigger a buy the rumor, sell the news. So basically a run up and then a sell off after it happens. But this isn't really a rumor, and I don't think it's really much of news either. It's more of just a fundamental fact. So I think the halvings, if anything, are obviously much more important than any news that could come out, whether it's China banning Bitcoin that could cause a dump or China unbanning Bitcoin, which has caused pumps in the past. I think this is fundamentally different just because this is priced in. It's guaranteed to happen every certain amount of years. And it's the biggest thing that can happen to Bitcoin every 4 years, basically. So I think the price will, I don't necessarily think the price has to dump as soon as the halving happens. It probably will for a short term, but a few months from now, I really don't think that we're going to see any negative price action from the halving, only positive price action, I think. Guys, as well, if you're interested in winning these other ledgers, not this one because this one's given away, but make sure to leave a comment below, smash the dings, smash the likes, smash the comments, and as well, guys, make sure to check a link in the description if you just want to order your own ledger. They got some really good sales going on right now. And as well, for extra TA tips, always make sure to check out Tyler's T4. Very interesting stuff. We're going to be adding an update later on in the month as well, just some more information there as it comes to us as more and more important stuff. We don't like to put stuff we don't think is useful on it, just things that I find interesting, I'm passionate about, and things that I think make a lot of sense. So I'll see you guys in the next one.